So we're here today to talk about Anthony Jackson and why he is the absolute greatest bass player on earth. We have 7 reasons why we think he's the greatest. And we're going to kick it off with he's a rule breaker.
He's a rule breaker.
He's a rule breaker.
Oh, yes.
In so many ways. But in this first track that we're going to listen to, you'll hear how he's playing with a pick. And he actually plays a ton with a pick on so many different recordings that he's done in the past. But this track that you actually heard us play at the beginning of this video is called For the Love of Money by the OJs. And it is killer. We're going to listen to the original, then we're going to get into the how-to, and it is harder than you might think. And Ian might even talk about some effects. Check this out. Dry.
It's so funky.
I love how the drums come in on that.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so check it out. He's playing with a pick, and you're gonna see this theme pop up throughout the entire video. Not a pick necessarily, but breaking the rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because
yeah.
I feel like in funk music and R&B music, most bass players would come into a session like this and play, right?
The obvious.
But Anthony grabs a pick. I don't know if he's turning on the phaser or if that happened in the studio. And then there's a bunch of reverb at the top too, right? And this happens.
Do you just want to show them how to play this? Because it is harder, way harder than, well, at least I thought.
Stick a pick in between your index and thumb, right? Get your hand back by the bridge. I'm palm muting a little bit, okay? And then I'm just gonna go down, up. That's the whole thing. Just this, okay? So if I play this slowly, space.
It's the space that everybody misses.
Yeah.
Everybody misses that. Everybody's like, all the way through, but it's not.
Second time. Yeah.
If you check any of the riffs out that we're playing today, we'll have a free workbook for you with all the tab and notation. You can grab it from the link in the description below. And again, it's completely free. Now, next up, we've had Rule Breaker. The next one is Innovator. Because Anthony Jackson is the reason that the 6-string bass, he's the reason I'm sitting here with a 6-string bass.
For better or for worse.
For better, for worse. For worse for today, because I'm just sort of like struggling and wrestling with this thing. Yeah. But yeah, he was the first guy that really, and yes, there were some odd basses like a long time ago that were classed as 6-string basses, but he was the first one that had the idea for a wide neck 6-string bass. Like a 4-string, but just a 6-string, right? And he called it the contra bass guitar. What's up?
Oh, and just all this like force and gusto.
Outlandish.
It's so good.
Outrageously outlandish. There's 2 outs for you. Now, next up, we've got a killer track. Chaka Khan, Move Me No Mountain, because as I was saying earlier, Anthony Jackson is not a jazzer. He's not a big bander. He is not a popper or just a session guy. It's the full thing in every single area of music. He's a freaking master. And for this, we've got a special guest.
We sure do.
We've got a special guest.
I'm like, hey, is there a bass player in the house? We got Jim Moore coming in to play the bass because he's passionate about this line and he can play this bass line. Jim, get in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, first time on the channel, Mr. Jim Moore. Look at Oh!
Hello, world.
And Jim, just before when we were talking about this particular track, Move Me No Mountain by Chaka Khan, to prove that our next point of why Anthony Jackson is the greatest is because he's a style master. Style master. Jim got super excited. He was like, oh, this track is so good. And then he started playing it, and we're like, oh, let's get him on for this. So, well, I'm going to try and play it. You know, he's going to show you how. Okay, so check it out. You need to get 2 fills from this intro. You have to, it's the law. For the first fill, check this out. I'm going to play it and then Jim's going to show it. And then we're going to get into the second fill. No pressure, Jim, don't worry. And just listen to the amount of space that Anthony's leaving in that as well. Just like...
Plays a little slower. So this is a kind of a fun line because it's actually just a triad with just one approach note in there. How cool is that? It's just like a humble minor triad.
Really easy.
So
that's it, yeah. And are you hammering any on?
that first note?
Because I'm hammering it all on.
In fact, yeah, any time that there's 2 notes on the same string, essentially.
Yeah. Now, there's another lick as well that you need to get. Following on, check it out.
Wait a minute.
Oh, did you hear that? Check it out.
Yeah.
So it starts on this.
It starts on the G.
On the G, yeah.
So this is kind of fun because this is just a minor pentatonic scale.
Yeah,
but it
and
sounds
it's
so
over a C minor, right?
Right.
Yeah. Do you want to play it slowly? And
So
I'll hold that C minor.
I think I play it slightly differently to you. So I'm playing 2 open Gs at the top here.
Ooh, you rule breaker.
Well, no, because I think Anthony would play it that way because he's a huge Jameson fan, right? And so he loves open strings, right?
Yeah. Oh, what am I? Okay. And if you want any of this tab and notation, we've done a workbook for you because we're brilliant. You can get it from the link in the description below. Now we've got one more lick, more, which is at the end of this track. It's really important. All of the bass nerds are like, oh, you mean that lick at the end? Yeah, it's like the lick in this track. Did you hear that? Check it out. Okay, so check this out. It's a real evil one. So it's over like an E flat, okay, and it's like.
Okay.
But it's at this speed. 2, 3, 4.
Got it. Nailed it.
It's a beast.
Yep.
Jimmy, thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Next up is Executor. Now, Scott was thinking before, no, this is about technique. He's a techniquer.
How is your techniquer? And he said, him and Jim were like, oh, it's all about time.
Yeah, and like, well, what if it's the marriage of those 2 things, right?
Yeah.
Time and technique, execution. Check out these crazy horn lines that he doubles with Michel Camilo's band.
I'll play this bit.
Dude, it's so clean. It's so clean and precise.
Yeah.
It's like execution at its finest.
Yeah.
And you think it's about technique.
The way that he nails it and like keeps the whole thing in the pocket.
Yes, it's crazy.
It's frightening you.
Can we just, those 2 fills, can we just break them down slow? Would you mind? Can I do the first one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, check it out. Let's try this. Yeah.
That was the first one, yeah.
What's the second one?
Second one, and again, we've got the tab and notation completely free for you down below. Okay, so grab it, download it and print it off. But this one goes, so it's actually really similar. Your one was that,
Yes, up to the G.
Yeah. Well, this one.
it ends on the
into
F.
that F, yeah, because it's in C, right?
So cool.
The next point, well, it's a return.
The return of the rule breaker.
Part 2 of the rule breaker.
Yes.
It's that his fills when he plays them, when he's left to his own devices, are not what, you know, anybody else would play.
Yeah.
If it was in G, whatever, you know.
Pentatonic figures.
Whatever, that ain't what Anthony does. He's got this completely different approach. He also has a lot of open strings in there. In this track, he was playing his 4-string tuned down, a minor, a major third. What was it, Jim? What was
C
it?
standard.
C standard.
So
it was
C,
C, F,
F,
B flat,
B
E
flat,
flat on his 4-string jazz bass that he used before his 6-string bass. And that was just warming up. Check out, there's another one. The cork is still to come. So that is full of open strings. Check it out again.
Dude, I love how the drummer kind of goes with him there too.
yeah.
Like, it's this sort of agreement in the rhythm section, so it makes the drummer push outside of a normal fill spot too.
It just sort of like brings the track up when he does it. And he's starting on beat 2. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, check it. 2, 3, 4, 2. Now, next up, we've got a great example of Anthony soloing. And this is the next point. He's an improviser.
Yeah.
He's a master improviser. You know, to our earlier point, you can put him in any different scenario, whether it be pop with Chaka Khan or with somebody super heavy, like this is the Michel Camilo trio, Dave Weckl on drums, Michel Camilo on piano, Anthony Jackson on his 6-string contrabass guitar. And here, it starts out really chilled, but listen how he's playing off what Michel Camilo does. And there's something really cool that you need to keep a listen out for. This bit. Like there's two, he actually doubles what the piano goes dubba dubba da, and he plays dubba dubba da,
Right.
like direct, and this is all improvised. The augmented, like dugga dugga,
Climbs.
yeah,
Yes.
like Michel plays it, then he plays something back,
And the
then-
answer.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
answer. So, like, let's listen to that one more time.
Right.
Now,
Oh!
nails it, nails it. Note for note.
And it's also, dude, it's also playful. It's like, it's sort of funny or like lighthearted sounding. It's like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And I can hear it in the playing. It's not like they're at their limit. No. They're like enjoying, like chasing each other.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, he's like a true improviser.
Yeah.
If you want to check some of the videos out, you know, the full versions of it, we'll put some links down below for you to go and check them out because, like, honestly, Anthony Jackson is one of the most incredible bass players on the planet to have existed over the decades that he's been, you know, out there playing professionally. And I think that he needs a lot of love from the bass community for his contribution to bass. So I'll put those links down below. And again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do that. And if you want to come and learn bass from these two handsome guys and that handsome youngster behind the camera there.
Jim.
Oh, fact checking Jim. Go to scottsbasslessons.com. You'll find us there. Make sure that you grab the tab and notation for this lesson as well. That's down in the description. The final point is that Anthony has just got an incredible just control and understanding and being able to execute it on the bass itself of harmony.
Yeah.
And chords.
Yes.
Not just like playing chords, but he just is inside the harmony, his knowledge. And again, this is sort of like partnered with being an amazing improviser, is He's the real deal.
It's like a composer on the bass.
Yeah, absolutely. So here he is playing his massive 6-string that looks like it's heavier than the sun. And he's also got this crazy harmonizer on. I've got like a micro pog down here. Yes, not a micro pig, a micro pog. Kind of sounds like...
Yeah.
You know, but like I think he's an octave up from that.
Maybe.
I don't know, but check this out.
Oh, those last ones can just be really light. Can just be really light.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah.